YouTube. Thanks for watching my dad's video.
Hey there. This week we're going to do something a little bit different. We're back in the office again. I'm going to go over how to make a time lapse, and we're going to do a time lapse. I'm going to be using a Fuji X-T5, but the processing part works for any camera. Once you have your shots taken, you can go just skip ahead to that if you don't need to know how to set it up in camera. So we're going to start out with that. A couple tips to start with. Always use a tripod. You've got to have that nice base to get your shots all the same. The next big tip that I have is just practice. You want to practice with different shutter speeds. You want to practice with different intervals. The next tip, shoot raw. That way you have the most flexibility with your images. Once you have them shot, you take them into post and you can just do more with them. Next, shoot manual. You want to get your camera set up. The last thing you want it to do is you go through a sequence of 120 photos and then a bird flies in and lands and your camera autofocuses on this bird that's a little bit closer. You just don't want that. Mess up the rest of your shots going forward. So go ahead and set it up manually, get it focused, get it locked down, let it fire off those shots, and then when you're done, go back, turn it off, download them and proceed. You just don't want, I've had it happen before when I thought I was all in manual and the focus changed to something else, and it's just, shoot manual for this process. And then we'll skip over to the X-T5, see how we set it up, and then to post, see how we get the time-lapse made after we get all the shots. So here we go. Let's set up our X-T5's internal intervalometer so we can take these time-lapse pictures. On the X-T5, I want to go to menu, then I want to come down on the left side to the camera icon, and then I want to go down to the second tab, and there you have interval timer shooting. There we want to use in-camera timer. We want to set it. Right now my interval is 5 seconds, so let's run that up to about 15 seconds. And we want it to run, right now I'm going to set infinite, so it'll run until I stop it. So for this I hit menu OK, starting with, so I can start this on a timer as well. Right now my estimated start time is 6:28 p.m., but I'm going to start it right now. So I just say OK with all zeros, and it took the first picture as soon as I did that. And now it's waiting, as you can see, 15 seconds till it takes the next photo. One of the things I really like about the Fuji is it has this countdown so you can see how long it is till the next picture. And then it comes up. And if I wanted to, I could press play and see the photo there. Of course, I don't have the lens on the camera, so I can't really see that. If you want to cancel, or when you get the amount of pictures that you're looking for, you can say OK, and it's back to normal mode. And then if you wanted to do that again, you would have to go through the same settings of going to the menu, interval timer shooting, in-camera timer, and set it up all over again for how you want it. That's how you set it up in the camera. Now let's take these photos that we've got to post. Now we're over in Lightroom. You can see I have my images imported, and I've made a couple of slight adjustments here to the exposure, a little bit of contrast, pulled the highlights down, bumped up the shadows a bit, added some whites and decreased some blacks, give it so you can see a little bit of that foreground, dehazed a little bit, threw my tone curve in, and detail, pulled the radius all the way down and the detail up. That makes it work harder to find the what I'm wanting to sharpen. Gave it a little bit of noise reduction there, and that was about it. Now once I did that, selected all the photos that are going to be in this time lapse with Command A or Control A, and then hit sync. You go in, you select the things that you want to sync. I'm basically syncing everything, and that'll take a little bit to apply that to all the photos. So I'm going to go ahead and click cancel here since I've already done that. Then I want to select all my photos again, Command A or Control A, and then File, Export. I'm going to export these to a folder that's already on my desktop here, time-lapse. We're going to choose that. And the important part of this is that as we rename each of these folders, we need a sequence, and we want that sequence to start with 1. That's really important when we move to the next steps here. Export with everything else set. So when I come to export, I want to export by renaming with the sequence. I want that sequence to start at 1. That's important when we re-import these photos to Photoshop. And there's my selected folder. Now we're exporting. It's going to take just a minute to export all these pictures, so I'm going to skip ahead. Now we've got all of our images exported. I'm going to go into Photoshop. I'm going to click Open. I'm going to go find that first photo, click on it, click Image Sequence, and click Open. And what that'll do, then you have to select your frame rate. And what that'll do is that'll pull it in here, and it gives us this video group at the bottom, and it has all of our images in it. So the next thing I want to do is I want to size this. I'm going to go to Image and Canvas Size, and I want to make it 4K. So it's going to be 3840 by 2160. We're going to say OK, and you'll see it changed it there. So to see everything, now we'll go over here and change this to 25%. I'm going to right click on my video group and convert to Smart Object, and that's going to let me drag this over here and then drag this over here to where it'll fit, and it will crop a little bit, but that's okay. I tend to want to keep most of my motion, so I'll bring it down because the sky is where most of our motion is. So I'll bring that down. We'll lose some foreground, but we'll gain the sky where our motion is. All right, now that we've done that, I'm going to export this video. To do that, we're going to go to File and Export, then down to Render Video. All right, we're going to name this time-lapse. I'm just going to TL for now. Put it in that same folder with the images. Pretty much leave all this alone. We've already selected the document size. We don't want to skip any frames here, so we'll leave this alone and just click Render. Now this will take just a minute. Export the video, and I will play it now. I hope you enjoyed this video. This comes in useful for you. If it does, please like and subscribe the video, and we will see you in the next one.